I want to start with this T-Mobile-Sprint tie-up because the idea of them coming together and creating a competitor, essentially, to bolster a competitor, doesn't necessarily have logic on its face of why they would want to do this. Why would they want to do this?
So they want to get the deal done. Certainly trying to help set up a national, fully fledged national carrier with its own network would fly in the face of what they've been saying that they've been trying to do. However, it is in their interest to try to get the deal done. And if that means hiving off some spectrum, hiving off a brand that somebody else could come in and then operate without hurting their business case too much, maybe they're open to that.
So right now, is this being viewed as a positive by the market in terms of the likelihood of this deal getting done, or a negative in terms of even if it does get done, it'll get done at such sort of draconian terms that it won't necessarily be accretive in the same kind of way?
Well, I think the companies have said that they don't want to give up more than $7 billion. So I think the market is still hopeful that they can get a deal done within those parameters. The good thing is that they're still talking. So Marcelo Claure and John Ledger have basically moved to DC. That's where they're living right now. They're hanging out with Macon Del Rahim and the DOJ staff. They're in discussions every day. They've been to see them this week. And the fact that negotiations are continuing and it's not a no is a good thing. The companies would also probably come back. We would see them come and sue. If this was a no from the DOJ, there's no way they're just going to walk away quietly.
Speaking of legal action, let's talk about CBS and Viacom formally starting the process to recombine. I feel like we've been down this road before, and we certainly have.
Just once? How many times?
A couple of times. Yeah. On one hand, we can count on one hand, maybe?
It depends on how far back you want to go.
Anyway, what's the latest you're hearing?
Look, they haven't formally started negotiations yet. CBS had a board meeting yesterday. I was told that this specific merger wasn't formally on the agenda, but of course the CBS board is constantly reviewing what their options are. One of the things is that, obviously, as you know, Shari Redstone, whose family controls both of these companies, is not actually able to propose this merger for 2 years. That was one of the terms of the settlement of the legal case last year. So that this has to come from CBS directors themselves. And they want to make sure that they're exploring all options because they don't want to get hit by shareholder lawsuits down the track. So this is definitely an option, and a lot of sources that I'm talking to feel like this is inevitable, and at some point they've got to come together. And remember that CBS also extended the acting CEO's contract to the end of the year, to December 31. So that puts some kind of a time frame on it. Yeah. Either it gets done or it just goes away.
You would think that at a certain point, markets would be like, you know what, you guys have tried this before, failed a number of times, we don't buy it. They're buying it, because if you look at Viacom shares, they're up 3.4%. So perhaps even the suggestion of it is enough to get people to say, look, this is inevitable. Just go to the altar already. Exactly,
and that both of these companies really need scale. And while they've been sort of dilly-dallying over this and this courtship has dragged on, their competitors are teaming up. They are gaining scale and they're getting ahead. So that's why shareholders are like, can you just do it already?
Just get married. We know you guys are going to.
Can you guys just get together already? That's the question everyone's asking.
Come on, Sweet 16 ending.